The Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball, he's been playing out of his mind. They look a lot better. One player that I will say has looked like he's taken a big jump is Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges has kind of taken that role of being their number one scorer. And they have a lot of depth. I like what Charlotte's done with their roster. You got PJ Washington come off the bench. I was able to catch a little bit of their first game against Indiana. And I just thought they played well. They stuck with it. They went on a 22-1 run at one point in the game. And a lot of that was LaMelo Ball kind of pushing them, making the right moves, making the right passes. That's an exciting team. Can this keep up? I don't know. Where do you stand on that? Do you think this will keep up? Do you think it's just too much of like a flaming hot start that's gonna trickle down, or where does Charlotte really go from here? Because you can't have these expectations, after not making the playoffs last year to automatically be like, oh, we're one of the elite teams in the East.
I don't think that they're an elite team simply because I don't want to put my stock into Miles Bridges just yet. He has started out on fire, but like we have his whole career to look at that says he's not going to keep this up. But maybe this is that year 3, year 4 leap that young wings, and they experience. If it is, cool. But either way, like even if this is just a flaming hot start, they fizzle out. I think it's safe to say it's a very fun time to be a Charlotte Hornets fan. This is a very encouraging start for a team that, franchise speaking, never started 3-0. Never. So enjoy it. I mean, if you're a Hornets fan, enjoy it. And if you're trying to take away from the Hornets for a good start, that's corny. You know what I mean? Like they're a young team. LaMelo is one of my favorite players to watch. Like he's that level of like young point guard that's just enjoyable to watch. And it is because he's a tall point guard. I'm not gonna lie. We know how I feel about tall point guards. You put a tall point guard in front of me, I get hype. But
and something else.
Good. Miles Bridges is averaging 25 back-to-back 30-point games. Like he looks good. Regardless of if it's a flashy hot start or they can keep it up, beyond me. But like I said, very fun time to be a Hornets fan. Enjoy it. Take it, you know what I mean? Take it and enjoy it.
Yeah, I think they can enjoy a few things. One of the things that they can enjoy right now is Miles Bridges winning Player of the Week. I think that's a little bit surprising, especially in the first week. You usually see those stars winning it.
Mm-hmm.
But Miles Bridges has played really well, and he's been deserving of it. So I'm excited to see what the Hornets do. Again, it's still early, but they look like they're on a different trajectory. Another team also on a different trajectory. Yes, Caleb.
My hand was rose because I want to ask you this question. Do you think Charlotte saying that they're not going to extend him before his rookie contract expires, do you think that might have lit a fire under Miles Bridges to come out and just go off? Now, Charlotte obviously can still retain him because he'll have the right to match any contract he signs, but do you think that kind of woke him up and said, all right, they don't believe in me. I'm going to go out there, put up some wild numbers, go all out this season to be able to get that contract? Because it's not that I think he wants to leave Charlotte or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I think this year's a really good foundational season for the Hornets to kind of show people they can reach that next level, and then next year just skyrocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I look at a team like the Hornets, and I think that they thought that let's just wait and see with a guy like Miles Bridges because they weren't winning yet, and a lot of those steps weren't taken from Miles Bridges yet. But it happens a lot with players. You see them go one way or the other. When a player doesn't get paid, they can either play extremely well and be like, you know what, I'm proving everybody wrong, and I'm going to go get my max money. Or
isn't this exactly what happened with John Collins last year with Atlanta? Like they weren't winning. They said, we're going to hold out, just wait. And then in the offseason, it was like the Spurs are going to offer this big contract. Then the Hawks were like, we'll just pay him right now. You know what I mean? Before you could get signed that. It's pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah. And that's a good point, because when you have a guy like Miles Bridges, it's not really a franchise player, so to speak, but it's more of a guy like, hey, he can drop 25 on any given night. And you don't want to let a guy like that just go. But at the same time, it's like, if I'm paying a franchise player, do I want to, or if I'm paying somebody max money, right? Should he be my franchise player? And usually the question is yes. Now, we see it now with contracts all over the NBA, and we'll get to that later with certain contracts. If players making max money and maybe not living up to that level. So I do want to see what the Hornets do with that. It'll be interesting to see how they finish off early on in the season, how they get over the hurdles of losing games and going through those losing streaks. So I am excited to see that.